introduction of the new police chief by Darlene Burcham, Town Manager.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Before I introduce someone who probably needs no introduction, given that his picture was front and center on the newspaper last week, I thought it might be interesting to you as the public to understand the process that we go through in looking for a replacement, in this case of our police chief, but it's a process that is used for all of our department head positions. It may seem like because we have been able to find a very fine young man within our own community that I just walk out on the street and say, who's interested? And the one that seems to answer the question best is the one that is selected, but that's not the case. We go through a very formal process. Chief Balzer was kind enough to let me know toward the middle of last year that he did intend to retire around the 1st of March. And so beginning in early November, we did advertise the position, not just locally in our newspapers, but with the Virginia Municipal League that has a weekly newsletter and other organizations so that we could have the opportunity to see who was out there and who would be interested in perhaps coming to our community. We did get a number of applications. Very fine applications, a number of very qualified people, and I put together an interview panel that included a representative of law enforcement, our community, 2 members of our community, and myself. We interviewed 6 individuals. Some rose to the top immediately and were the unanimous finalists in the minds of the panel. And so I undertook then, with their recommendation, one-on-one interviews with each of those finalists. Checked references, those people that people put on their applications, which are usually people who are going to say nice things. You wouldn't put somebody on your application that you said was going to say something negative, would you? But I went beyond those to talk to, in the case of local people, members of our community, in the case of at least one applicant who was from outside the area, talking to former employers and other individuals. Through that process, Chad Wickline rose to the top. And so I'm very pleased and proud that we're able to appoint a local young man, someone who grew up here, went to Allegheny High School, and has spent 17 years of his career with the local Sheriff's Department. I think engaged in just about every activity that our Sheriff's Department has. Is very, very well trained. His list of training courses that he has attended is exceptional. And I think he brings a energy to the department at a time when this community is growing and having more and more visitors from outside the community. So I'd like at this point to introduce the man who says he doesn't want to come here often until he gets his uniform because he only has one good suit. And he doesn't realize that we don't dress for formality here. We're more casual. Chad, if you'd step forward and perhaps say a few words to the council. Chad will officially come to the town next Monday the 18th and will resume or assume the duties of the police chief on March the 1st when he retires.
How you doing? Great to you here. Ms. Burcham had some very good words. I'm grateful for the position and the opportunity to serve the citizens of Clifton Forge. I'd like to take the department, move it into the future, and that being part of the future, be more involved in community relationships as well as the law enforcement aspect of it. She says my first day is the 18th, which is next Monday. I'll be in the office shadowing Chief Balzer for the next 2 weeks until he finally leaves March the 1st. Upon that time, I'll be out in public. Office right here in Town Hall. If anybody has any issues, feel free to contact me. There's only 10 officers in the department. Me being one of the 10. The community is the asset. anything that the police department can do for the community, to better the community, let us know. Okay? Look forward to being your chief. Look forward to getting an opportunity to meet everybody and to work with you. Thank you.